Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today I've been kind of thinking about what I want to record, what do I want to do, and I figured I would continue on the train that I've been doing, the kind of state of the game type things, and I thought I would talk about a recommendation I've got a few times and I've wanted to do myself for a long time. I just haven't really managed to form it into a video. And that is the problem with gold in Wizard101 and the problem with the economy that has kind of grown and developed over time and has become a significant issue at this point in the game. I figured I'd kind of talk about that, talk about how I think you could fix it, what the kind of main problems are. Again, I am no master at this kind of stuff. I'm no game dev. I can't tell you exactly what to do about it, but I can offer some ideas that could potentially make things a bit better. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start off with what gold is, if for some reason you don't know, and kind of talk about the main game features. I'm not going to go too in depth, obviously, but basically in this game, gold is the lifeblood, the currency of the game. It is the base free-to-play currency, and you use it on quite a lot of things. You use it on gardening, you use it on gear, you use it on treasure cards, pet snacks, literally everything you can think of you can buy with gold. Gold for a long time, KingsIsle didn't want people to have too much gold and develop too much of a kind of massive fortune, and what they did was they introduced a gold cap in the game and set it kind of based on your level. So at around level 100, you have around a 400,000 gold cap, and around 150, you have a 500,000 gold cap. Now I want to tell you about what I found over time and what's developed, in my opinion, from how gold works and kind of the problem with the Wizard101 economy. So there are two types of players, in my opinion, from this kind of development. There's the people with too little gold and the people with too much gold. There isn't really a fine in between, but there are two main issues with them. Let's start with the people with too little gold. I find that these are the lower level players, the players who haven't been playing for a long time, or even just the players who are still in the development phase of the game. These are the people who don't have a really good pet yet, maybe don't have a lot of pet snacks, don't have a garden, basically just the people who haven't developed and haven't played for a extremely long time. In this stage of the game, I find that there is quite a few problems that raise from having too little gold. But first, let's talk about how this kind of develops, the problem with the development I found in gold. The problem with gold is that it isn't a natural progression. It's not that at level 1 you're getting in the hundreds of gold, and at level 150 you're getting hundreds of thousands of gold. It is kind of like that, but there isn't a steady middle ground. How it goes is it kind of goes, you don't have a lot of money at all, don't have a lot of gold, right up until, say, about you get to Grizzleheim or Wintertusk, and then it starts going up. Or in case of, if for some reason you don't do Grizzleheim, in which case you'll be much poorer than otherwise, around Avalon Plus is when you start getting high level items that you can sell, and you start getting in the hundreds of thousands of gold. It's not a steady progression, and a lot of lower level players who need the gold the most don't have a lot of gold. So for example, the things that I find that people with too little gold really need is they need to train a pet, which pets, again, are extremely important in this game. And to train a pet, they need either 100,000 gold from the pet kiosk, or somehow be lucky enough to find a generous soul to lend a pet to them, in which case they still need to pay about 40,000. This is a lot for a lower level player, and that's not even counting in the other things they need. For example, if they want to get gardening down to get up pet snacks and get different things, they need to spend hundreds of thousands of gold on gardening spells to actually be able to do it. If they want a mount, for example, to get a permanent mount, the cheapest one is 50,000 in the crown shop, which admittedly isn't a ton, but for a lower level player, that's going to take them quite a few worlds to get to. So the problem with the people with too little gold is that there isn't an easy way early game to get the things that they need. And I will say the people with too little gold, this extends further out. This extends to the people who are still in the development phase, even at higher levels. So for example, if you don't have a really good pet yet and you're 150, it can take hundreds of thousands of gold to get a good pet. If you don't have like a garden, you need hundreds of thousands to buy the different things. Overall, it's just really rough, and one of the roughest things I've found is actually crafting, because of this kind of goes in hand with the people with too much gold, is the fact that the people with too little gold really need to buy things to actually get up crafting, and they can't. So let's get into the problems with too much gold, because this is another flip side that I know a lot of people will be at right now. So after years of playing this game, years of developing this game, people have gotten to the point where they have a lot of gold, but they also have everything they need. So for example, I'm kind of at that point right now. I have all the gardening spells, I have a good pet, I have really everything I need, I have max crafting, everything I need for gold I already have. And this brings a problem where you really don't have anything to spend the gold on. So I found that there's two things that people do, is either they sit on their gold and don't really do anything, or they just kind of blow it as much as they can and do things like clean out the bazaar for reagents. And this creates a problem, and what's the third section is the kind of decay of the Wizard101 economy that has kind of gotten worse and worse over the years and has really not gotten better. The problem with the current Wizard101 economy is that KingsIsle put a gold cap in this game and gave people too much gold to spend on different things that really don't have supply. So for example, if you want to go to the bazaar and get some reagents as, you know, a new crafter, you want to get some decently valuable reagents, or you just want to get a reagent that, you know, is kind of obscure and not a lot of people buy. Well, guess what? You're probably not going to get it at the bazaar anymore, because for the last few years, there is literally nothing in the bazaar. This is the best case scenario that could have happened with me coming to the bazaar. There is not a single reagent in the bazaar right now. The problem is that KingsIsle didn't give people enough to spend gold on, and now all of a sudden the people who don't have enough gold and really want to get up, say, crafting, can't, because guess what? There is literally no reagents in the bazaar, and this is a significant problem. Like a lot of good pet snacks as well will probably be sold out. Like they have one single Dr. Jalapeno if you want that. Really, the only thing that you can buy would be like maybe some gear. Like treasure cards probably aren't going to have any good treasure cards either. This is a significant problem that I really want to illustrate. Before going further into this, let's talk about why all of this has happened though, and what has happened with there being too much gold. Around a few years ago, I don't know how many years ago, but a few years ago, trading Discord servers and trading websites, whatever, started getting more and more popular. They started growing in popularity in Wizard101. What happened is a decently rare but kind of accessible treasure card, also known as Empower, that is valuable, has started actually growing in popularity and becoming a kind of currency in game, an unofficial traded currency. Basically, they are valuable, they sell for a lot, and you can buy them in the bazaar, and they're not very easy to just buy. You can't buy them anywhere. Basically, Empowers became a traded currency, and this is true for, say, reagents. Some people like to sell reagents or sell treasure cards or whatever for Empowers, and the problem, and this is the biggest problem with this, is that KingsIsle not giving the players enough supply has made it entirely way too easy for this to rise. And now I don't think there's anything wrong with there being vendors, right? But as a dedicated player, it really hurts me to go into the bazaar, go into the reagent section, and literally nothing is here. Because that means that players who don't know about trading, players who don't know how to do this, or players who might get scammed in trading, have no way to actually get reagents easily. They have no way to get treasure cards easily. They have no way to actually progress in the game. And this really bothers me. It really annoys me because it's gotten to a point where there just isn't any supply anymore. There isn't any way for you to get these things besides trading with another player, and that really can lead to some really bad things. So the economy has decayed to the point where really player trading is the only thing in this game, and Empowers is the only way to get you through it. And for someone with too little gold, you're probably not going to get through it easily. So how do you fix this problem that's risen? How do you fix the problem where there really isn't any supply anymore and there is a lot of demand and really there's no easy way to get it? Well, KingsIsle really needs to fix this. What they need to do is they either need to destroy the player economy, which I'm sure a lot of people won't be happy about, which I personally don't have an opinion on. They either need to devalue empowers or do something that makes empowers kind of meh, but that would also really just switch it out so people start actually, you know, doing something else. They would switch treasure cards, switch traded items, whatever. They would get to a point where something else is used as the currency. Or what they need to do, and this is huge for me, is they either need to give players with higher amounts of gold something to spend it on so they don't just go buying Bazaar reagents to actually scam lower level players or, you know, prevent them from buying things. Either that, or they need to actually give more supply. So what I personally think, and this is two things that I think they could do. First off, they either need to raise the gold cap or they need to give an actual quantified item that they can use to actually store gold. So say, for example, you can trade like 10,000 gold for a reagent that's worth 10,000 gold, and you can trade that back and forth, so it gives players less of a reason to just buy everything that there isn't enough supply of. There is that. And this is huge in my opinion, is they need to make a bigger supply. They need to make certain reagents such as, you know, black pearls, such as blood moss, and even things such as iron and just common reagents now, either less valuable or give them an actual vendor or a restock feature in this, because it's a real problem. I think it's frankly criminal, the fact that to actually get like iron in this game, if I wanted even 10 iron, I would have to go onto Gamma's trading post and would have to trade in powers. I think this is a significant problem, and I think it really needs to be fixed. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's even a problem? I'm sure a lot of people don't even see the problem in this. They're like, okay, let me go buy out all the Bazaar. And that is just disgusting to me, because it means that a new player or a newer player won't ever be able to up crafting in an easy way, and they need to sit here for hours just refreshing the Bazaar over and over again to actually get stuff that they want. And you may have noticed, and I did this in a video a few days ago on my death, I went to the Bazaar and there was some rare reagents here, right? There was black pearls, there was golden pearls, and there was blood moss, and I just bought a lot of it. Why did I do that? Because I had a lot of gold and nothing to spend it on. I fall victim to this, and it's really annoying. So we really need ways to solve the economic problem in Wizard101, whether it be to add more stuff to spend gold on at a high level, or simply make this game's economy less painful for lower level players. That's what I think. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I think this is the main problem with the game in terms of the economy, and I think it should definitely be fixed. So that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next video. Adios.